Hey friends, you are crafting with Kim Byers, and today we're working with the Cricut Joy and the foil tool to make some absolutely gorgeous fall inspired cards. So we're gonna make some Halloween cards, little Thanksgiving cards. We're gonna use lots of color and pattern. I'm really excited about this. I have not used the foil tool before, and so today I'm gonna walk you from beginning to end. So no matter what you know about your Cricut Joy, if it's still in the box, if you use it all the time, there is something in this video for you. So I hope you'll hop over to Cricut Design Space with me. I'll show you everything that we're doing, and then we'll jump over to the craft table. By the way, I love comments, I love questions, so please hop down below and talk to me. And I've put in the description a list of everything that we're using here today as well. All right, let's go. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and so what I did is just from the home page, I selected a new canvas. If you're already working in Cricut Design Space, the new button is right here. So basically you just want a clean canvas. And then what you do is you go into images and pull in all of those fun things for whatever your subject is. So I am doing Halloween and fall and getting ready for the upcoming season. I love this time of year. So let me show you how to best find those images. So you can do one of two things. You can go into images and you can search in project type for cards. So these are pre-designed cards that are already available, and so we'll just grab one of those, and then you can go into operation type and you can do cut and draw. So I just cleared my search, and cut and draw brings up all kinds of things. Now if you look, you see that my card is still clicked. If I unclick that, it goes to just drawn images. So I want to show you both ways. So getting a pre-designed card or getting just images that are cut and draw. So now that we have this, you could go in and just do, pumpkin. And so all of these different images pop up. Some are just so stinking cute. And you can make any of these into a card with foil. So you can grab all of the designs that you want. And once you have those, I'm just going to go ahead and bring in this one card because I want to show you how to start from scratch and edit that. But basically, once you have your card here, and you can see I've gone ahead and done this one. I created this one, and created this one. And I'm going to put a link up above to a full video showing you, how to, from scratch, design your own cards. But I'm going to give you the short and skinny of it here before we go over to the craft table and work with the foil tool. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this pre-designed card. We're not going to change the size of it here. If you do have larger papers, you can do that once you get to matte. So what we want to do is go into operation. We look up here, we can see that we have the pen available and we have foil. And then if we look over into layers, you can see that it's two separate pieces. So you have your cuts, which is all of this exterior piece, and then trick or treat and the little bat. And then you have your pen, which is the red area. So I'm going to enlarge this a little bit so you guys can see it better. Okay, so clicking on the pen element, we can go up into operation and select foil. And then from there you can select the different colors that are available. So I am going to use rose gold today because it's kind of a more orangish tint to the gold, and I think that's going to be really pretty. So now that we've done that, literally the machine knows that it's going to prompt you to use the foil blade. Now, so this is a card that is pre-designed. So if you want to create something all of your own, so I'm going to delete this just because we already have it over here. You can take, for instance, a card that has been pre-designed, but you can then duplicate that. And so let's pull it over, and I am just going to get rid of the foil. And I'm going to click on this and go into contour, and I'm going to eliminate all of the items except for the corner marks. Click off, and so now we just have those corner cuts. And then I can take any image down here that I want to make into a card. So let me show you with this one. So we're just going to move this over, and I'm going to make it slightly smaller so that it fits. Okay, so then once you have it to where you think it fits, click on it and go into arrange and send the card element to the back. And then that way you can click on your pumpkin. So when you look over into the layers panel, you're going to see a couple of things. we're not going to worry about these caution cones right now. Basically, it's telling me that the pen we have chosen is not available for the Joy, but we're going to fix that in a second. So whenever you're cutting out a card, the first thing you want to do is you want to take off that basic cut around the exterior, because you don't want it to cut out, because then all you're going to have is the shape of a pumpkin. You're not going to have any of the work, the pretty pen work or the foil work. And so then once you have that done, what you want to do is you can click on the pens, and you can change these to be anything you want to. So if you see the exterior of the pumpkin is one thing, and then you could literally just have pumpkins and turn off all the jack-o'-lantern elements, which could be fun too, depending on what kind of card you wanted to send. So if we leave this on, and so we go up into pen, and then maybe a fine point black, depending on the color of your card, which you're going to cut it out on. And then you could go into the shape of the pumpkins, and we go into operation, select foil, and then we're just going to choose foil rose gold. And then if we're in pen, we're going to go up, and so see, it's just the little stalk at the top. We can go into colors, and I think I'm actually going to use a gel, glitter gel, and we're going to do that in green. Okay, so now we have this really cute card, but you're not done, because you need to grab the whole element, like all of the pieces, including the exterior cuts, and you need to attach them. And that's going to allow it to all go to the mat together as an actual card. Okay, so that wasn't hard at all. And then you see here, I even added the embellishments from this guy. So if you wanted to do that, you would click on only that element. We would duplicate it, and then pull it over. And then you can go into contour and take off the exterior, which is right here. And then we don't want the moon. We don't want ore. We only want the spider webs. So see, you can manipulate a design to be whatever you want it to be. Don't feel like you have to cut it, draw it, score it, foil it exactly as it is in Cricut Design Space. Okay, so now I've shown you how to edit an existing card, to create your own card. And so we have 4 of these up here. And I did want to just show you this because I thought it was so super cute. So you see these leaves, and they already have the holes in them to hang them as a banner. So you could cut these out on paper and do the foil, gold or whatever color, red, to make a banner with these leaves. Would that not be absolutely adorable? So let's go ahead and hide everything that we're not cutting. So if we click on our first card, we see that the design is attached. We click on our second card, and so you can look down here. If it says detach, that means you have the option to detach. And if you look here, you can see it says that they're all, everything is attached. Okay, and so then we can see this one is not all attached because I can click on them individually. So we want to highlight the entire card and attach, and then we'll go over to our last card and it's attached. Okay, so the last thing for you to consider before you head into the mat is the size of your insert cards. So we're going to be using 4.5 by 6.25, and these sets actually come with foil inserts in them. So when you're buying cards, you can buy just the normal insert cards, or you can buy the ones that have the foil inserts. And so we're going to use that card kit today. So if you have these designs, you can send them to cut, or to cut in foil just like they are. Just make sure that you center them before you send them all the way through, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, we're going to be using our card mat. And now you can see over on the left, you have 4 cards. So if you click on the first one, you can actually hop in here and move this design around just a small amount. So we want to make sure that we get that good and centered, and then you can do that for each one. So if you look over here, material size 4.5 by 6.25, which is the size that we're using. Okay, and so then the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and hit continue. It's going to find our Joy, and we're going to choose insert cardstock. And so now we're ready to head over to the craft table. Here we are on the craft table, and these are the things that we're going to be using today. So I have my Cricut Joy machine. I have my new foil transfer kit. Inside this kit, you're going to get the foil transfer tool, and then you're also going to get the stickers and foil sheets. In addition to that, we're going to be using the insert cards. We're going to be using the card mat. I have my Cricut tools. I also have some larger foil sheets that you can cut down, and we will for one of our projects. And then I have some other craft papers. So we're going to be using the transfer insert cards today, but I have a video, and I'm going to put it up above, showing you how to make your own cards. So for a couple of them today, we're actually going to use papers that I have cut down to make into a card, but check out that video if you want to learn all the ins and outs about making your own. Okay, so let's go ahead and move these out of the way, and we'll set up our first card. So here's what we're going to use for our first card. So we have our actual card, and then I have two different kinds of inserts. I'm probably going to use the really fun one. I have my foil sheet, I have my foil tool, my card mat, and my stickers. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this card, and we're going to place that on our card mat. So you slide it in, and then the mat is actually sticky, so it'll have a protective sheet on it, and you've taken that off. And so then you place your card. Okay, and so now we're ready with our card. Now the next thing that we need to do is we're going to put on our foil. So before we do any cutting, we're always going to either use our pen or our foil tool. So you're kind of doing your embellishments before you do the cut. So the first thing we're going to be doing is taking out our blade, and we're going to replace that with our foil tip. We pop that in, and so then we're going to load our mat. Now once it's loaded, we're going to take our foil and we're going to place it on, and we're going to use these little stickers that come with the foil kit to make sure that it doesn't shift during embellishment. So we're just going to take our piece of foil, which by the way, this was from the larger foil kits, and I cut it out with my paper trimmer. It worked perfectly. There was no problems, no tearing. The foil is actually a little hardier than you might think it is. Okay, so this is going to want to grab the foil and pull it. So what I would suggest is just getting close to it on one side, kind of getting it in place. Now you want to make sure that when you put your stickers down, you're pulling the foil up and around as much as possible to make it as tight as you can. So I'm actually going to do the side. Pull it taut, and then we will do the other side. And you don't want it to go, you don't want the little sticker to go over anything that you want to foil, right? Because then the tip's going to be on top of the sticker and not the foil. And I know what you're thinking, it would have been easier to do it prior. Well, you don't do that. So whenever you do the pen work, you're going to do the pen, and then you're going to put on the foil, and then you're going to let it run with the foil, and then you'll do the cut. And so it's actually a lot easier than you might think, being able to just pop it right underneath there. Okay, so now we can go ahead back to our desktop or your app and select for it to go. Okay, so now what you do is you actually do not unload the mat, but you go ahead and remove the stickers and remove the foil. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I'm not sure how well you can see this on camera, but it just shimmers. It is so fun. And so then we're going to take out the tip, and we're going to replace it with the blade. Close the clamp and select go. So now we've unloaded our cards. We just pull that out, and the next thing that we want to do is we just want to gently bend our card mat. and pull away our design. And the card mat almost self-weeds when it's really sticky. Okay. Oh my goodness, that is so stinking cute, guys. How gorgeous is that? Can you see that shimmer? And so then the only thing left to do, and this is one of the things I love about how easy these cards are, is you can change the look of them by putting an insert in, or you can, you know, make your own. And again, I put that video up above if you guys want to make your own. And I actually am really loving the patterned look in that. That turned out so good. Okay, so let's clean our mat and go on to our next card, and we'll use the pen tools with the next card. Okay, so for card 2, we're going to do much what we did the first time, except this time we're going to add a pen, and I cut out the card stock that we're going to be using. So again, I'm putting a video up above so you can create your own card stock and have all the patterns and all the fun things for your cards. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this card and put it on the card mat. And whenever you're using pens, your pen goes first. So we're just going to take the card, insert it into the card mat. And now I did this as a smaller card. I wanted to do it as a 4 1/4 by a 5 1/4. And so on the Cricut machine and Cricut Design Space, for some reason, it only allows us to go 4 1/2 by 6 1/4. So just design your card the size that you want it to be, and then just make sure that it's shifted over to the right, to the left, and so it should center up and work perfectly with that smaller cardstock. Okay, so we're going to load. Okay, and now we're going to take out our blade. We're going to take our pen. This is actually a marker. Now remember, with the Joy, you don't wait for the click, you just set the pen in. And then we select go. Okay, so our pen is only drawing out our moon. So now we can take this out. And then we want to place in our foil tool. And then we're just going to take our stickers and our foil sheet. We're going to place it down, take our stickers, put them in place. And I would say that, you know, try to avoid having like lotion and things like that on your hands when you're using the foil. Just don't want to get spots and things in it, right? Okay, so then we're going to take out our blade or our tip. And then we're going to remove our foil. But we're not going to take it off of the mat. Oh my goodness. Look how beautiful that is. That is so gorgeous. And by the way, if you guys craft with me ever, you know how I am about saving materials. So I'm going to be cutting out that piece of foil and putting it in my stash for something else later. Okay, so then what we need to do is take our blade and pop it back in and get ready for the cut. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so cute. Okay, so then we just unload the mat, and just like before, we will just bend the mat and get our card coming off. And by the way, lesson learned, like when you have foil that is larger than your design, then just go ahead and trim that away so that it doesn't adhere to your mat. It's okay, I can wash that off, it's not a big deal, but it's best to save that foil anyway. Okay, so then we're just going to pull that away. for when the things don't weed out so easily, you can always take your weeding tool and just pop them out. Okay, and so now we have that beautiful shimmery card, and now we're going to take our insert and pop that in. Oh my goodness, I love this. I love being able to choose my own papers and do my own things. But if you wanted to use something from the kits, you could do that as well. They're always solids, but I just love a great pattern. Okay, so I hope you loved making foil embellished cards. Making cards is just one of those things that makes me happy. I love not spending $5 a card, but I love creating something that is completely and uniquely my own. So I have put down in the description below a number of videos that I've done on card making, everything from how to make your own stock card inserts, how to embellish the envelope, all the things. So I hope you'll hop down in the description below and check all of those out, as well as all the tools that we used today. And if you have any questions about what we did, or you just want to leave me a comment, I would love to hear from you down below. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time.